Order of Light presents a new era of contact, UFO sightings and strange anomalies, secret space programs and off-world adventures, advanced technologies and new discoveries, extraterrestrial abductions and contactees. Now is the time to speak. As we explore the unknown, the uncertain, and unseen, we are the disclosure, and these are those stories.
Hello, all of you wonderful beings of light. Welcome back to the new era of contact. Tonight, we have a very special guest, Joe the Juggernaut Joyce, professional boxer, 15-0, multiple titles, belts all under his wing. In Tyson Fury's words, the second and the top of the heavyweight championship in the world. He has an amazing story. I met Joe at the conference, and at the conference, a lot of people had no idea who Joe was, and he was one of the most humbling, loving, real people I've ever met in my life. And him and I, we got to talking, and we were just talking about life, extraterrestrials, UFOs, the conference, all this stuff. And then he shows me, he says, "Oh, I'm a boxer." I'm like, "Everyone's a boxer." He's like, "Oh, I'm a professional boxer." He showed me on his phone, 15-0. I said, "Oh," and it was wild, but just getting to know him, hearing his story, there were so many things that surprised me, considering that he makes a living from getting in a ring and ending people's careers. And lights out. It's mind-blowing. The amazing, humble guy and that soul that resonates within Joe. He's truly a remarkable stand-up guy, and there's no doubt in my mind that he will be the world heavyweight champion, because I believe he has something that most may not have, and that's that connectivity to source energy, being connected with the universe, and learning how to use the full potential of the mind. So welcome to the show, Juggernaut. Joseph Joyce, how are you doing, brother?
Yeah, pleasure to be here, Robert. Great, good to see you again. Have another chat and stuff. It's use the force. Or I was going to jump in and say, but it was so it's great, really great meeting you at the conference. Like as soon as I entered the hotel, I was like, "Oh, there's Robert away," and then went and had a chat with you and stuff, and it was really a great opportunity to really connect, because I watch a lot of things online, watch you guys speaking about things and reading books, and I've been conscious and awake for since probably 2007, when I started to really question the reality and stuff. And
that's a long time.
So I've done a lot of research in the meantime, and so obviously when I heard Danny talk about this conference and the lineup, it's it's like the who's who of the UFO community, it's all the top names. So I was like, yeah, and it's $555 for tickets. So I have the money. I want to go. So after my fight, I booked it last year as soon as it went on sale. So and I knew it wasn't going to be in between it was in between fights. So or if I booked it anyway, and if I cancel it, I'll have to cancel it. But it all went in alignment, and was in Orlando, and Orlando was a place I wanted to go since I was a kid. My dad told me that we'll go to Disneyland, but I never went. But I managed to take myself in the end.
We talked about that at the conference. Him and I, both of our hearts, even being in Orlando, I didn't want to go, and him and I were talking about this before you actually went there and all that. And both of us had our like hearts broke because Disney World was always something that was kind of promised to us
Disney World, yeah.
every Christmas. If we got good grades, Disney World. Christmas coming up, Disney World. It was kind of always promised to us, but never quite happened. And yeah, that was one of those small weird connections. But you got to go to Disney World.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't the magical kingdom, whatever it is. It was the animal thing with Avatar, which is actually pretty cool. I enjoyed that, and also the Orlando. Was it the Universal as well? That was good as well. Like after the conference, but it was like quite an adjustment because the conference is full of like people with who have had like experiences. They have connections. They have there's a whole bunch of people with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experiences and the energy as well. You can feel the energy around you. So, but then like in contrast, like after the event, because I was like, let me just get my tickets and go. Like as soon as the conference finished, I went and got my ticket and went. But then I could feel like, like as soon as I got back to, it was like back to reality, like not like into a universal like event, like with with the normal people who are not
It's
conscious.
hard to adjust back to people of a lower frequency and vibration.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
you're up here with people that are on top of the world, in tune, rocking, same level. You go back to your normal life.
I don't know.
And then you go back to pretending. Right? That's what it really comes down to.
You have to speak another language again.
Yeah, that's how it feels. It's really tough. Now, you said back in like 2007, that's when you really start to open up your eyes, right, to all of this. And what happened in 2007 that opened your eyes to
It was
this?
just talking to like my friends at uni, and we were talking about the hip hop industry and how for artists to do well, they talk about as well, like how to about doing the deal and different things and stuff. So I was like, okay, so I was like, let me just research a bit of this, like because I wasn't sure about some things that they were talking about. So I went and googled it, but then like it just opened my mind blown, like all this information, all these different sites and stuff. It's like back in 2007, nothing was like censored as it is now, so it was a lot easier to like gain access to all this information. And I was like, wow. And then obviously, I guess since then I've always like wanting to know what exactly is going on. It's like similar with so I came back from school, and of course there was the the Twin Towers incident that happened, and I came back from school and I was like, what's going on? Like I was like changing the channel. It was one of them old school TVs, and every news channel had the same thing on. I was like, this is weird. And then like
the rabbit hole,
all the stuff that happened after it, and like it's still ongoing, like and people it's like so blatant, but like once but then when you're realizing this for the first time, then it is quite a leap.
Oh yeah, it's breathtaking. And that's one of those situations that kind of open up my eyes to things. And once you go down that rabbit hole, it's really hard to unlearn things that you have learned. It's really hard to go back once you see it and how clear it is. And that essentially set you down a path that led you to a lot of other things, right? You ended up going to school, although you're, a professional boxer, 15-0, well recognized in the boxing world by far. You went to school for fine arts.
Yeah.
You don't hear people playing rugby and sports also being able to make beautiful paintings, which are absolutely beautiful, man. I really love them, but Can you talk about that and what the heck led up to that? How did that happen?
So my parents were, very artistic. Like my mom is more like into like performance, like singing and dancing, and she does her pottery. And so I always had that influence growing up. And then also my dad with doing, he actually did fine art as well at university and did taught art as well for a little bit. But now he does, or like antique frames. They have they have gold leaf. They got gold leaf on them, and the old frames, mirror frames. So he basically puts the gold leaf and restores them to how they would have looked before.
Oh,
Basically,
wow,
like repairs them.
the embroidery going around
Like
it.
like
Wow.
repairs them. Like they're made of wood, but he puts the gold leaf on them, and it's clay and gesso and different things before you put the
Oh,
layer of
wow.
gold, and then you burnish the gold. You polish it so it makes it shiny, so it looks like gold. And then he like ages it, so it makes it look like it's from like hundreds of years ago again. And,
Wow.
like there's a lot of collectors that look for it and stuff. But anyway, long story short, so yeah, so I'm very artistic growing up, and I'd be always like drawing things, and I first learned to paint when I was 7. My dad actually showed me how to do oil paints, like which is normally it's quite like a messy thing, and it can like get everywhere in your fingers, your clothes, like the computer, like everything. It just goes everywhere. So it was, it's nice that he, showed me how to do that quite early on, because most parents are not, don't want their kids to make a mess. But
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so in school, I was always good at art, and I was also good at sport. So my parents really pushed me into like sports and like martial arts. Like dad did karate, and he also took me to rugby and like did the swimming and stuff. My mum was with like took me everywhere: gymnastics, ballet, freaking all like. I started doing capoeira actually after she did, and kickboxing. But like my mum's really, she's like a sprinter, and she's also got 5%, sorry, 8% sight in one eye. She had an accident when she was little, so she's registered blind, partially sighted. Like she can see like 8% vision in one eye. So, but
Oh,
she doesn't
wow.
that doesn't let it limit her in any way. In fact, the opposite. She doesn't let that limit her at all. So she's like very outgoing, and she's climbed Kilimanjaro. I used to
Wow.
she used to do like cross country skiing. I used to like look after my brother while she was out skiing, and then when she came back, then I'd go out on the slopes snowboarding and stuff. So we've cycled around Thailand, and like she's like really up for like doing anything. She's
It didn't hold her back.
where I really get my get up and go. Where my dad's like more of a thinker and like an artist. He's more in that kind of way.
So your athletic capabilities, I know this sounds crazy. Sounds like it comes from your mom. And then your artistic abilities come from your father?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I get, but they both do. They both do a lot. But yeah, that does make sense.
Wow, that's amazing. You got best of both worlds. And what a lot of people may not realize is, with boxing or any sort of combat sport, it takes a lot more than just being strong and being able to knock someone
Right.
out. It's a
Yeah.
chess game of sorts. It takes a massive amount of strategical, thinking, right, to
And
make this
it's like in a
happen.
split second as well. You just have to react, and that's where all these years of training come into play. So it's like you're not thinking about, I got to move my leg, I got to move my arm, because it's all instinctual. And then it's like, okay, now he's thrown that, then how do I react? And I don't know. There's an opening there. There's an opening there. But if I throw that, maybe you'll throw that. But it's all like happening in split seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just reacting to, because
And
you've been doing it. It's that repetition.
that brings up a great point, Joe. And this is where having that artistic capability really comes into play. in order to predict the action of your opponent, it takes a certain imagination. The same kind of focus and imagine it is to be able to see what you are painting on canvas before it's actually on the canvas. It's this foresight or vision or intuitive power that kind of allows you to be able to do this. What are your thoughts on that?
That is a great explanation. I enjoyed that. I hadn't thought of it that way before. Yeah, because with art, you have to look at your opponent or your subject, and then if you're like, I guess, reproducing it on a paper, then you have to keep on like looking backwards and forwards from like your eye to what you're looking at and the paper, and then you basically draw it, like kind of copy it, and like also the colors, and I don't know, it's like a skill that can be learned, but it's one of these things that you have to, like, if you haven't done it for a long time, you can get rusty over it. So like your muscle memory for your hand, like to paint and to draw a straight line or to draw a circle, and to that muscle memory to for you to be able to look at something and then basically copy it. It takes a lot of like focus, and but it's also practice as well. That's where it can be like similar to boxing, because I think to be a master at something, it takes like to reach excellence, especially in sport, is 10,000 hours, which equates to roughly 10 years. So for instance, because if I started at age 22, it needed to take me 10 years to reach sporting excellence. So I'm well in there now, but when I went to the Olympics, I think I was still under 10 years in the sport, and then going professional has like boosted that extra time to manage to get that 10 years in.
And you won, real quick, you won silver in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I saw that, and I'm going to be that guy that says, my man, you should have had the gold.
Mate,
yeah. Yo, you should have had the gold. That's BS. I'm not the only one saying that, so don't. It's not me. But
apparently they're like looking into it, and they're talking and they're discussing the thing. So maybe I might get a gold medal one of these days.
They should definitely look into it, because if they have eyes to see and they saw the same match I saw, I didn't know what was going on there. But hopefully you will get that gold. But still, man, the preparation and the sacrifice you made to go into Olympics and still walk away, that's huge, man. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, it's so tough, even to like, it's all these stages. You set goals. Like my first goal was to win my first fight, but then the next one is to get on to they have like a national championships called the ABAs, and to win, the first one was the novice ABA, so I won that. And then the next goal was the main ABAs, won that, and then got onto the GBT, done that, and then win this championship. And then it's like all these small tournaments, and then the first major tournament I think was the Commonwealth Games that I did, and I won gold in that. Actually, no, I think it might have been Europeans. Yeah, and then it was like the Commonwealth.
Wow. And you hold a few belts, right? You have a few belts. Where are your belts?
This is like in the amateur. So this is the amateur boxing, and then leading up to the Olympics, and then obviously, I got there. But these are all these goals that I've set, and like obviously the main goal is to be number one in the world and win a medal in the Olympics, and I managed to do that. And I'm on the way to my next goal, was being heavyweight champion of the world, and I'm right there. So
you're right there, and you're gonna be there. Yo, we're manifesting. We're putting this out there. Everyone that's watching this, I want you to manifest it right now. This man will be the next heavyweight champion of the world. It's done. It's manifested it, boy. You just got to deliver and put all the hard work in and do everything for us, but we're manifesting it for you.
No problem. Thank you.
You'll do all the heavy lifting on it, but it's amazing. It goes back to your upbringing and all of that, and the power is source energy. Now, you've really been into the extraterrestrial, the UFO phenomena. You came to the conference in Orlando. You knew a lot of the speakers that were there, etc., and all of that. And when did you start to get into that part of the phenomena?
Well, so it's been a long time, and it's in this field. It's not. I don't just look at one area. There's like a whole broad spectrum, but I am interested in. That's probably my main interest, I guess. And there's so much more information now, of the names of the beings, and obviously, especially if you have connections as well, and it all kind of. But it's great to I'm very interested and driven to learn and research things, and it's when's the new
Yeah.
you get to a point where you think you've got a grasp of the summary of everything, and then someone like Elena comes out and gives you a whole new freaking thing of information.
You're like, I don't know nothing. Okay, I know nothing. Back to knowing nothing,
And then it's all the intricacies, all the different trades and agreements and different things that have gone on, and
layers.
and even
so
this
many
planet,
layers.
and what's going on this planet before, and well, I mean, I guess it's all happening simultaneously as well.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of layers to it, a lot of different layers, and as soon as you peel back one layer, there's another layer there, and at the end of the day,
the timelines and mate, it gets
and dimensions, galaxies.
Yeah,
Never ending.
a lot of complex information if you want to delve deep.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to our personal experiences. And with that being said, Joe, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, have you had any experiences with anything outside of your realm of understanding? Have you had anything that opened up your eyes to that?
Yeah, there's there's some experiences I've had when I was younger. I was I don't know, was it a lot more meditative, and I got to a point where I could astral travel a little bit, and
really,
look at myself be awake in a dream and look at myself in the mirror and stuff like that. And I don't know, them kind of experiences, and also seeing, actually being here in Vegas. I've been in the pool a couple of times, chatting, even in broad daylight, and I've looked up and I've seen I'm like, can you not see that? It's nah. I can't remember. It's I don't have my glasses. I was like, what about you? Can you see it? And then it disappeared. I was like,
a light ship? What did it look like? Was it a light ball, a ball of light, or what?
Yeah.
What were you seeing?
Yeah. It's just a fuzzy tic tac, or it's just I could see it there, but I was like, can you not see that? It's no, I don't have my glasses. I was like, can you see it? And then it disappeared. And I was just chatting as well again, and then I looked up again. I was like, there it is. They have a poker in front of me or something.
Wow.
But yeah, there might have been some in the conference as well outside. There was a lot of, obviously there would have been there, maybe out of sight though. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah. There was a lot of things there. There was a lot of people. Everyone that's watching this at the conference. Joe and I, because we're very large people, we're practically hair for hair the same height, very, very close, eye to eye. And him and I kind of got paraded as these giraffes of how people see very tall people. Oh, pictures. You know what's crazy, Joe? You and I took so many pictures together, and I don't have a single one. All those people.
I'll send them. Wait.
You have them.
Hopefully, I've got them. I don't know if I have them. So maybe
I would love to have one. Tons of people were taking pictures of us together, but none of them would ever send me the picture. It's like a giraffe at the zoo, Oh, look, I got a picture with Nephilim. A lot of people were calling me a Nephilim at the thing. I heard these two little girls walking. They're like Nephilim.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah, fun. I turned around, I looked at them, I said, "Yeah, we're real. Hey, what's up?" But it's really funny. I want to bring this up. One of my good friends, Dr. Dan Seda, we were talking the other day. I was letting him know about the interview. He was there at the conference, and I've heard this from a few other people that when they first saw you, their first impression, what they thought was, he's a super soldier. Like he's like off world, some sort of like protector, or they could definitely tell your athletic ability, even though they didn't know who you were or what you did. That stuff resonated off of you, and he was swearing you were a super soldier.
Yeah, because what I could tell, like, there's a lot of people have got their own experiences, and like it's all the the other stories that you hear, like they're not necessarily the speakers on the stage, but like the information and the connections that people have is like some amazing stuff. Like by the fire, I saw amazing connections and things from people. It's really really great. Really
Yeah,
great experience.
those personal connections were phenomenal. Like the whole reason you and I, like you said, when you first got there, you hey, and then the following nights, etc., same thing, and it was just amazing that personal connections with people by the fire. And I just want to show everyone a little clip right now for all of you that may not be familiar with Joe. Here are a couple of highlights from his last match he had with Joseph Parker, which ended in a devastating knockout. So here we go. All right, back everyone. As you can see, that did not go too good for that guy. And after seeing, how tough and strong Joe is, it's truly amazing how loving he was and all of this. At the conference, something happened that was really funny. And this is what I want to talk about. When we were hanging out near the fire and that little blonde girl accidentally bumped you in the head. And Joe, not hurt. He was perfectly fine. He's taking these full out blows and he starts staggering backwards, just being funny, not hurt at all, just being a goofball. What Joe did not know that was directly behind him
Oh yeah,
was a
yeah. I
concrete
was lucky.
fountain. And then in the
Oh,
center of it, there was a raised concrete base. And
I would
with
have been
how
a goner.
tall he was, he would have fell backwards and clocked right the edge of his head on the back of this concrete block and fell into a fountain. He was
And
literally
then fell into the pool as well. Yeah, that would
yeah,
have been bad.
he was at a 45-degree angle. And I scooped in there. I grabbed him and lifted him back up. So I can't
That was
say that
close.
I can take you out and put you down on the ground, but I know for a fact that I can pick you back up. And I'm
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of that. And I'll always have you back. And I
I'll be all
definitely
back
know,
too.
so many people, struggle with, getting you down to the ground. And it's one thing to knock someone down, but it's another thing to pick somebody back up. I think
Yeah.
says a lot about character, right?
Oh yeah, that fight with Joseph Parker. So after the fight, I went into the changing room and like his parents and his family were there. So yeah, I went backstage and said, like, shook his hand, and he's a nice guy, Joe. I knew him before I fought, but that's the thing with boxing; it is a sport at the end of the day. So all the animosity and stuff, it works to sell the fight, but then we're two nice guys. We're like, Joe's a great guy as well. He's Joe Parker. I'm Joe Joyce. And like he's a really great guy as well, and it's great to like go back behind stage after the fight. We shake hands, and it's only for that competition and that excitement for the entertainment for the crowd for that thing. And afterwards, then we obviously shake hands and we go back to our families and about our lives.
Yeah, and I love that. I saw the press conferences, and Joe Parker, he is a really solid, nice dude. And behind the scenes, Joe and we were talking about it. I'm like, dude, you're one of the worst trash talkers I've ever seen,
I know.
but I respect you for it. And the way you guys uplifted each other in those conferences, talking about your strengths and all that, I think that shows more courage and strength than putting down your opponent. I think that's beautiful, man. And
Yeah, and
never change.
It's that sportsmanship, and everyone's got like a family to go to. Like, it's funny. My mom says like, yeah, but how's your opponent? Do? Is he all right or whatever? I'm like, yeah, mom, he's fine.
She's worried.
But she's like, yeah, but he's got a mom too. I'm like, yeah.
That's funny. Your mom cares for him, you got some mom too, all that. And I think it's beautiful. And that just goes to your character, being connected, you having these experiences, being connected with the universe, being in tune. You said when you were younger, you were meditating, and a big part
and that was one of the things that my mom got me into, actually, like that
really
spirituality and meditation, because she did all a lot of the healing arts, massage, reflexology, shiatsu, and I had acupuncture, and I was like her case study. So like when I want to go and play, I'm like, she's practicing on me, like I'm like, mom, like, but that's probably what's made me like balanced and like relaxed, like a relaxed, laid back person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that kind of, and being around that, and practicing meditation and things like that as a child, and stretching and the martial arts, because I came from martial arts, and that has a lot more to do with flexibility, like has kind of like a flow to it and a spirituality, like essence in martial arts. See,
Discipline.
and that's what I've taken into boxing with me.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes you so incredible. It's this, practicing meditation. I've always heard if you can't imagine yourself beating someone, if you can't walk through the entire fight in your brain, an imaginary form of it, and if you can't win in that imagination, how will your brain react in real time if you can't even imagine it? And meditation is a form of, I don't like calling it imagination, but really getting in tune and trying to see every possibility. So that has to come into play because you were raised like that. Does that come into play as you're in that ring and going toe to toe?
Yeah, I think it's something that has come with me, and there's been, tuned and I guess worked upon. This kind of brought me, but I guess obviously when you incarnate into a baby, and then your light being become like and the body like perform you. But yeah, but it's like your parents and the situation that you is like a match to your vibration as well. Like you're put in that position which matches your frequency and matches like what will give you the best lessons and guide you to remembering who you are and what's your purpose here on earth.
And with your experiences, one thing I did want to ask you, some of the things you've came across and discovered in your reading and understanding of this whole phenomena, what is one of the biggest takeaways? What do you resonate with most? What's your biggest takeaway with this phenomena out of all the things you've learned, out of the things you've seen flying above you in Las Vegas, the personal experiences you've had? What's your biggest takeaway from that?
Well, that we're all connected and we all have a purpose, and it's about shining the light and what I like about boxing is and life as well. It's about continually improving and learning and like growing and to like always trying to improve and like become better. That's what I like. That's what I like to do, and to strive to to be excellent. Because I think perfection is like a little bit unattainable, but you can always strive for excellence and like be the best, like bring out the best in you and in other people.
Aim for the stars, hope that you land on the moon. It's perfection.
And hopefully you're greeted by someone cool, someone nice.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's what it's about. And that's a beautiful message. We're all connected, and we are. And honestly, I would imagine that when you are up against an opponent, I know a lot of boxers, they spend many weeks watching their opponent's videos, learning every step, learning every movement, etc., etc. I'm sure it probably helps to be able to have that understanding of being connected in order to really be connected with the guy you're fighting, connected to a point that you know what's coming. Is that a play in it? Is that a play? Is that what's going on?
Maybe
your secret source?
I don't know. Who knows? But
I mean, 15-0 and no one stopped you yet, bub. It might have something to do with it.
I have my methods.
You have your methods. Indeed, you do. And wow, man, and just big stuff. Now I know you have a lot of stuff right now. For everyone that's watching, you've been training in Las Vegas, right? Is that where you're at now?
So I'm in Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm staying in a like Airbnb, and I'm here just for like a pre-camp. So it's like a camp before Christmas, before I eat too much and that like I need to
You
make sure
start
that
to look like Santa Claus.
yeah, and all that stuff. It's to make sure that I'm keeping up, and I've got less pressure because I don't have a fight, but it means that I've got time to like learn new skills and stuff. So for when the camp starts in the new year, that I'm ready to go. I know what I'm doing. My technical abilities are all like fine tuned, and I can just go into tactics and stuff. My
Yeah.
coach.
And you're from London, right? Is that
Yeah,
born and
yeah,
raised
yeah.
there? You
London.
didn't move around? Okay.
Yeah, South London.
Awesome. So I have a lot of friends in the UK that are probably watching this, maybe they'll know what's up. So that's awesome. And what things are on the horizon for you? What things are you looking forward to? You got any goals? Anything you're trying to make happen up and coming?
Well, there's a fight in February, March, and then there'll be which will lead into a big fight in the summer. That's
Mhm.
what we're pushing for and hoping for, and working behind the scenes. In the next 2 weeks, I'll know who I'm fighting in February, March. But I'm right now. I'm the WBO interim heavyweight champion of the world. But the interim because that means because I fought Joseph Parker. So I was the number one. He was the number two, and we fought. And because Usyk, I'm not sure all of you would have to research this, but Usyk has the belt, has the WBO belt now, and he's supposed to be fighting Fury for the belt. Because Usyk's not going to fight me next for the WBO, he's going to fight Fury probably. So that means that I automatically get elevated to full champion after the undisputed fight takes place.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you actually fought Usyk back in the day before you were professional.
Yeah.
And I saw that match, and you definitely know a lot more now than you did back then. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought, and
When I watch my
I
old
thought you
fights, I'm
did
like,
really good. I
yeah, no, I
still
did.
thought
Yeah.
you had the upper hand. I think
Yeah.
you were a little short-sighted on that. And there's no doubt in my mind a Usyk fight now would be a lot
Rematch.
of fun. It would be a good fight, as you always say. It'll be a good fight. That's what you say. It will be indeed, no doubt about it. And yeah, I mean, when your name, how does that feel? I know a lot of the people that watch this is in the spiritual community. Not a lot of people are in the UFC and fighting and stuff, and a lot of people may associate fighting with something more negative.
Mhm.
And how would you combat that? How would you say, like, yo, you're wrong on that?
Well, I think that it's in our nature to fight, and when fights happen, it also progresses and grows people to a certain. Obviously, if it's not in like positive things, but with boxing, it is a contest, and like a duel or something, and it's for entertainment, so purposes. So it is. I mean, it's for entertainment and people watch it, and it's kind of ancient, like to have like animals do it and like combat. It's always been out there, but it's also
Gladiator.
gladiators and like bringing yourself up to, and like martial arts, bringing yourself up to black belt or a certain level when you're learning and improving and you're like growing as a person and like building your body into a weapon. And
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's not all like about like I get a kick out of like beating someone up or anything, but it's like it's kind of that the conquest contest and the excitement of the crowd is and also like improving daily, getting picking yourself up and climbing up that mountain. So each fight is like the top of the mountain, and then after the fight you have a bit of time to like go back down and have a chill period, like let your hair down, go to a conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang out, have a good time, and that's what's it. Like you said, it's climbing that peak, and out of you know that experience, it really comes down to a lot of people. They fight to put a paycheck up on the table, take care of their family, their loved ones, their mom, their dad. They're doing it to survive. And my question to you, Joyce, why do you fight? Why do you personally do it? Not the industry. What is your drive? What makes you go? Why do you do it?
I do it because I enjoy it. Like I always thought about because I started off like working. I was like a lifeguard, and I realized I don't really want to do all these hours work, long hours, and I want to work less and earn more. So then I started doing swimming teaching and diving teaching and stuff. But yeah, yeah, it's that excitement. It's like adrenaline sport. I'm kind of one of these people who likes to go fast, who likes to to get like the adrenaline, the adrenal glands going and stuff. And boxing is also a career as well because you can earn money from it. Like you're getting paid to train and
Mm.
box, and that's the way I like it. It's like took me around the world. It's earned me decent money, and I enjoy it. And it's also brings people together because like people I've known or haven't seen like since school or have drifted apart. They come together and watch me box. So it's like bringing people together, and it's some real excitement. Like when you know someone who's actually getting in the ring and fighting. It's really I don't know, your
It
passion and like excitement like goes through the roof, and you're like,
it really does.
yeah.
It does. That's
So
after me.
I'm like that. I'm bringing that together as well.
You're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for all the people that are standing behind you, all those people that you knew back in the
Yeah,
day, and all the your
and all
family.
those people that come to support and like the fans and like support me. It's a great feeling to come out and walk out and like even like someone like sees me on the street and they want to take a picture or something. It's quite a nice feeling to like kind of make. There's a lot of people I've made their days because they took a picture of me. It's like, oh. Hey,
Yeah.
and it like makes their day. It's like, oh, I can't believe I saw you. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. That plays a big part. A big part of why I do what I do is for all the people watching this right now, all my subscribers, the community of experiencers and people of that nature. That's what it's all about, doing it for others. And, I'm sure I've seen videos of your mother and she seems really proud of you. No doubt. I've seen her in a few of them. Now she's good at talking trash. Yo,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
yo, she does enough for you, man. You're
That's
good.
yeah, I
That's why
know.
you're so quiet. Mama
I know,
gets
yeah,
them.
just let her do the
Mama gets
talking.
them. She's a
There we go.
pistol, man.
I'll just
I'm
sit back.
she's hilarious. I saw a few good interviews and stuff like that. And oh man, what a journey you've had. And you got into boxing when you were 22 years old, which in this industry, that's too late. But
Mm.
apparently, you've completely took that narrative and tossed it out through the roof, and
Yeah.
you're solid, man. Like right now, I want everyone to know because going back to what my friend Dan said about him thinking you were a super soldier, is it true that your bone density is like 5 times the average amount of a normal human being?
Yeah, it is. I actually did yeah.
Holy,
I actually did a test in like there's like these DEXA scans that are in the Middlesex University. There's actually Saracens rugby ground, and Middlesex is where I went to university, and I did an exchange, funny enough, to Sac State as well, but that's another story. But yeah, I did the DEXA scan is kind of like a photocopier, and it kind of you lay down and it kind of scans your skeleton, and it like if it's like the denser it is, I think it shows up as like a clear white. So my whole skeleton was like a clear white. and they obviously had the printout with the numbers, and I think it was just over a fight. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
But like most of the rugby guys, the highest is like ×3.
oh really? So that's
Mm.
the average highest in rugby is a ×3, and you're ×5.
Yeah.
That's next level, and it explains how these professional boxers that have been boxing for like 20 plus years are hitting you as hard as they possibly can in the face, and you don't even move, and you just keep coming forward. And then you're at
Well,
the
I'm called the
conference.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, the juggernaut. Like you were at the conference looking fabulous. You would have never known that you
Thank
were
you,
just
thank you.
in a fight because
Yeah.
I saw Joseph Parker got you a bunch of times. Oh, he got you. He
Yeah.
tagged you a few
That's
times.
awesome.
Big shots. And there was nothing even the next day after the fight. There's like nothing on you. I don't crazy. I don't and that's what the whole boxing community is saying about you. Like this guy could take a shot full blown from Mike Tyson and be smiling and like, what just happened? I didn't feel that. That's insane.
I mean, I don't want to test it out or anything. Like,
yeah, I mean, you prefer, as you say in your interviews, I prefer not to get hit at all. You know, I'm not trying to press the limits, but boy,
so I like to
does
keep training and like learning to defend more. But it's like when you're in there, it's hard not to get hit. Like it's like going out in the rain.
You do know what you're doing, and sometimes you really get on a roll, and you really, if you wanted to, you could unload everything, and you don't. Like right in the heat of the moment, you take a step back, you get your thoughts together, you get your guard back up, and then you go in from there. That's very interesting.
Yeah, sometimes I think like is the ref gonna jump in and like start giving him an account or something. So I hesitate. I've hesitated a couple of times. I need
compassion. You're showing
Maybe
that's compassion.
Yeah.
You're showing them compassion, and like most I see. There's been times where you hit a guy, and like as soon as you connect, you just shut off and walk away. And as you're back to your ring, the guy's still falling to the ground. It's like you know when they've had enough, even before the ref does. Do you have a sense of when your opponent's had too much?
I think maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Are you an empath? Are you empathic? It sounds like it.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe.
it's because not too many people in the fighting industry, they normally don't stop until the person is flat on the ground. There has been multiple times where you land a shot and you just walk away, even though that person's still standing up. The second your fist makes contact, you just take off.
I think if the fight you're talking about, I knew it landed was enough to like end the show.
Yeah, so, you're like, there's no way anything could withstand that hook right there. You know, it was a pleasure having you on, and any possible way people can contact you if they want to reach out to you.
Yeah, so you can reach out to me on Joyce Boxing on all platforms.
Perfect. I'll have a link in the description. And everyone, thank you so much for watching. Joe, thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
Such a pleasure meeting you. Good training. Stay strong. Keep rocking with the Universal Source Energy, and you will be the #1 heavyweight of the world, brother. Much love.
Go.
Get her done, man. Back to the training. Hustle. See you later, brother.
Hustle, Robert.
Hey everyone, check out the Order of Light merchandise store. We got a lot of different t-shirts there. The Humans Aren't Real, Lower Always Creek Incident. We got tank tops and Merkaba. We got stickers, glasses, a lot of different glasses, so get thirsty. We got bags. I live in New Jersey. We don't have bags anymore, so it's really nice. We got flip-flops, hoodies, and all the ladies out there, we got a bunch of awesome merchandise. Please join the YouTube membership for my channel. You will get exclusive badges, really awesome emojis, member-only live streams, posts, and chats and connections with me for only $5.99 a month. See you there.